Hello everyone.
Hi.
Today I'm going to introduce human-centered traffic construction. So before I start, I want to ask you a question. Are you satisfied with the traffic condition in Taiwan?
No.
So today I'm going to tell you what other foreign countries' examples. First, we all know that Netherlands is a bicycle kingdom, but can you believe that the traffic was like this in the 1970s? So, how the country changed? In the post-World War II decades, the city streets were devoted to cars. In 1972, nearly 400 children were killed because of the traffic accident. Then, a town called Pell, one of the children started a plan. At first, he was just wanted to play on the street, but then it became a protest, and more people noticed this problem. Then they started the Stop the Child Murder Foundation. After 50 years later, you can see many infrastructures like the bridge for the cyclists and pedestrians to cross the street. And also, the residential streets are 30 kilometers per hour zones. Also, you can see many streets like this with the sign which writes "Bike Street" and "Car is Guest." Here, cyclists can have the priority to use the street. And there was to change the traffic jam, it was not to give the more space to cars. There's an example called in Canada, in the 401 expressway. The picture here is the expressway in the 1958. It was a 2-lane expressway. And now, after 70 years later, it became a 6-lane expressway. However, the traffic jam hasn't been soluted because the number of cars are still increasing. So there are more countries, not just Netherlands, have this kind of experience. Today, I'm going to use an example in New York. When people wanted to build the bicycle path, some people may say it's different for customs. Maybe the Dutch just like to ride a bike. But here in the picture in New York, can you believe that people would really want to ride a bike in this kind of condition? So, when they started to want to create the bike path, some people may say, oh, they are so crazy. No one would like to ride a bike on the street. And when it was just a waste of space. But changing this was really helpful, and it just need to use some concrete and markings. In the 2007, the first bicycle protected land was formed, and within the 5 years, more and more bicycle paths was created. In this street, we can see that the travel lane has been decreased, and it gives more space to the cyclist. However, the average of travel time hasn't increased because more and more people are riding bicycles. And some of the sections, the injury rate has been decreased about 49%. And there are more bus lanes in New York. Bus lanes is a really good idea because when there's a traffic jam, people would like to take the bus because it's much faster. Although there's some people thinking that the bus stand is also a waste of space. In Manhattan, it was changed into a walking area. And so this improved led to change the traffic condition. It is to find alternatives of driving cars. Just like one of the mayor in Colombia has said, an advanced city is not one where even the poor use cars, but rather one where even the rich use public transport. So before I going to introduce the problem in Taiwan, I want to show this report. When a car hit the person at 30 kilometers per hour, 90% of people will survive in the collision. However, if a car travels at 60 kilometers per hour, nearly 80% will result in fatality. To make drivers slow down, some countries use this kind of roundabout while driving into a residential area. And in some cities, they use zigzag markings. This can make the drivers pay more attention. So here, we can see that some of the streets are really wide and didn't give any space for pedestrians. So if we diminish the width of the street, slower will be the free flow speed, which means that the drivers will travel if there's no congestion or any adverse conditions. So now, I'm going to use this street as an example. So we can see that this street is really, really wide. But students must walk on the side of the road. So if I can redesign the street, I will diminish the width of the car lane. After that, I will make the parking place more outer, and the bicycle lane will be formed. And because of the parking area, we can see that we can create a pedestrian protect island. This can make the travel distance much more shorter when the pedestrian needs to cross the street. Also, the driver can notice the pedestrian much more earlier. And when we decrease the width of the street, some people may have a question. In Taiwan, there are many motorists. When they need to ride on the side of the street, the space will be too, it may be dangerous for the motorist. But in these 4 pictures, it shows that when a motorist riding on the right will be a little bit dangerous. So first, we can see this picture. When the yellow car is driving out, it's hard for the red car driver to see the cyclist or motorist because of the tree. So if the motorist ride on the middle, it will be much more earlier for the yellow car to notice him. The second condition is the left cross. When the red car is turning left, the white car may affect the side of the red car driver. And when the cyclist or motorist ride at the right of the road, it may cause dangerous. And third, this is called the right hook. When the yellow car needs to turn right and the cyclist need to ride forward, it may cause an accident. And this one is when the red car wants to take over of the motorist of the cyclist, it may think that it's still enough space to take over. However, the white car comes, so he must drive back to the lane, and this may cause side swipe. And also, there are many trucks on the street. When the motorists have to, it's hard for truck drivers to notice the motorists. Also, there are many conditions that will make the pedestrian much more dangerous. So first, some conditions may be the bushes, and this makes the pedestrian must walk on the road. And other problem is the illegal parking. When the pedestrian need to cross the street, he must go right or left. So if he go right, the drivers which turns right will not notice the pedestrian because of the lane. And when the pedestrian goes left first, it will be later for the right turning vehicles to see the pedestrian because of this car. So illegal parking equals being fined? No, it equals being dangerous. To improve this problem, we can redesign the sidewalk. In many countries like Germany, they have this kind of extended curb. When the car parking here, it may affect the whole traffic. So we can make this sidewalk an extended curb and make the wheelchair ramp just at the pedestrian crossings. So are you interested in this topic and want to improve the problem? I recommended two fan page. The one is Taiwan is a living hell of pedestrians. In this page, you can see many examples in many countries. And the second one is my vehicle size gives me priority. The editor of this fan page is a resident who lives in Yangling. So he used many examples so he used Yangling as an example. Also, there's a book called Street Fight. It shows that how New York became the traffic, how they improved the traffic in New York. That's all from me today. Thank you.